Hi, I'm State Representative Tony McCombie from the Illinois 71st District.
And I'm Rep. Patrick Windhorst from the 118th District.
And we're here today to talk to you about Reimagine Illinois.
Let's get started.
All right, Patrick. Why is Reimagine Illinois necessary?
Well, for too long, Illinois as a state has been stuck in a rut. And it's easy for our citizens and the people who live here to think this is the way it has to be because this is the way it always has been. Reimagine Illinois is telling us we can have a different state if we change the direction of the state. You know, everything about our state that should be high seems to be low, and everything that is low seems to be high, whether we're talking about pension debt or taxes or population growth. Reimagine Illinois says we can change that and turn our state around.
Absolutely. All right. This is one I didn't know when I first got here. Can Illinois legislators be lobbyists?
You know, I didn't know that either, whether Illinois legislators could be lobbyists, and it turns out they can. Under current Illinois law, a state legislator can lobby local governments. So I filed a bill that would prevent state legislators from being lobbyists on the local level. It's a common sense solution. I think most of the public would think that that is already the law, and it should be the law. We don't need legislators using undue influence on our local officials.
Yeah, and just because it's legal doesn't mean it's ethical.
That's right.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. All right, this one will be a good one for you with your background. Should Illinois be looking at bail reform?
Yes, we, as the General Assembly passed what's called the Safety Act in January, which in 2 years will eliminate cash bail. In that law, there were certain loopholes or things that were left out of the bill that are going to allow for people who commit certain serious and violent offenses to be released from jail almost immediately before trial. What we believe is that we should look at those offenses and make sure that offenses such as robbery or burglary or aggravated DUI aren't automatically released after being arrested. So bail is an important topic because it's important to our public safety.
Right, and one thing that I learned from the committee is that state's attorneys and judges were already having situations where they were promoting zero cash bail.
That's right. It's current law, even before this bill, that a person could be released on his or her recognizance without posting any money. In fact, that's a common practice for nonviolent or lower level offenses.
Right. Now, one thing that I think is important across the entire state, either side of the aisle, anywhere in the state, we have some serious FOID issues. Why is it taking so long to get our FOID renewals?
Well, part of it is a staffing issue with the Illinois State Police. There's also been funds that have been swept out of the FOID card fund. And what is also happening is many people are applying for their FOID card for the first time or applying for renewal, and the system is just overwhelmed. We need to have more resources in the system if we're going to continue to have a FOID card system.
Absolutely, which is a question oftentimes.
That is right. All right, it's your turn. You ready?
I'm ready.
What is the cost of corruption?
Well, it's expensive is what it is. Whether it's socially or economically, I mean, the more time people are in power, utilize their authority, it causes corruption with our stakeholders that are trying to fight for the people of Illinois. I had to look it up just because I always wonder, how we're always ranked on things. And I think Illinois, for legal and illegal corruption, was number 10. Number 10. So it's pretty crazy to think about. Here we are elected to represent our districts and others across the state, and we take advantage of our corporations, our stakeholders, our most vulnerable, and it's just not right.
All right, where does Illinois rank with its overall tax rate?
I have bad news. I would like to say 50, but we're 51. 51, including Washington, D.C. So it's over 15% are combined. And we cannot tax our way out of growth. I mean, we cannot continue to raise the tax rate over and over and over again, expecting people to continue to pay the bill. We are all fine with paying taxes and paying for things, but if we're not receiving those services, why would we consider paying more? We just wouldn't.
Right. Why does a well-trained workforce equal job growth?
Oh, we need to invest in our human capital. And we here in Springfield, Illinois is one of the greatest places in the United States to live. Geographically, our transportation systems, I mean, we are placed to be very successful, save for bad policy. And that bad policy is not investing in our human capital. We need to look at other things other than a four-year. A four-year degree is great, or a community college. But we have to be looking at our trades, things that are more specialized. We need to be putting policy together for corporations and manufacturing businesses to come to Illinois rather than being taken from us to go to other states. People are calling our businesses and taking them out. Mm-hmm. And we need to have places for people to work. One of the things we find in our rural areas are probably very similar is we may have a large corporation or a manufacturing setting or a Department of Corrections or a federal prison in my area, and we don't have the workforce, good paying jobs. So we need to invest in our human capital, absolutely.
Good point. How do job creators help the state financially?
Well, they pay us. So we can feed our families. We always talk about, a good place to work and play and a better quality of life. And we have our small communities struggling to do that. But we're not giving them as a state the tools. We're not giving them the tools to be successful in their own right. So people have to go where there's going to be a job. And our job creators can't continue to grow their businesses if we're making it too easy to sue, unsafe, for them to stay in our state. And I think it's important that we have to give them more tools other than what we find in our area is just a TIF. We need to give them the tools to succeed rather than take away and add more regulations. It's proven time and time again that we, as legislators, pass bills that we know nothing about. And we're not asking the stakeholders, we're not asking our corporations, we're not asking the people that are putting food on our tables, and we need to be bringing them to the table.
Right.
All right. Well, that's pretty much what we have today to talk about Reimagine Illinois. So if you want to know more, where would you go, Patrick?
Go to reimagineillinois.com.